Oh, in the pub?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, not exactly in the pub. Well, we had this,
Where you have funerals mostly? Is it
we
pubs?
had a sort of party afterwards.
Oh.
We had the cremation was in the town here.
Oh, okay. I get that.
Are you videoing me?
Ready? Oh, you what? You gonna keep that? You're gonna keep that out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I'm not gonna close it.
So this was a big manufacturing town for fabrics, imported silk, all made war hats, and hats could be sweaty, and so you have a leather inner band which is ventilated so that you don't get too sweaty, and stitching the leather into the hat material is quite a sort of tricky business. Successfully patented and development. No, but you could make money then because anybody who wanted to do the same thing had to pay you.
Right. Same now.
Yeah. And so, if you were clever, an engineer like our great grandfather was, he patented lots and lots of things. Every time he thought of something crazy. So he had a number of patents on some that house there. Just got to cut it here. That's right.
It would be all over the internet.
Open up. Come round to open the front door. So, welcome. Yeah, this is it. My nephew's been here. He's brought all the food. He's filled the fridge up. That's great. He's cooking.
Oh.
So the house is on the market. How many of you own it?
Well, nobody owns it really because I'm just obtaining probate. I'm the executor
Oh,
for a
you're
will.
going through probate now. Okay.
So I have to become the legal temporary owner. And that's what I'm busy doing.
Okay.
I just sent all the paperwork off on Saturday. So, there you are. There's a bit of hanging space in the cupboard here if you want to hang things.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
There we go.
This is my dad.
Gosh. Gosh, you look like him. That's very interesting. Wow. How old was he there, do you think?
You know, I don't know.
Oh, look at that car.
Beautiful.
1947, you said.
I think 47 or 48.
What a fabulous car.
Oh, he loved it.
God, my brother would have loved that. It was right up his street, that kind of car.
There was only just a few of them in the United States at the time.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Ran into a kid at high school that used to see that car now and then, parked down near the bakery, and he said he had often thought of stealing the radiator cap, which is that Jaguar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
There she is, busy as a bee.
Oh, God. Who are you going to show that to?
Oh, I don't know, maybe people back in the States, relatives. I can make a DVD. Invented the mobile phone. I mean, I thought about it. I thought it up, you know, but probably a lot of other people did the same thing. But yeah,
There he is. Hello.
Yeah, I've often thought up things and thought, oh, that's a really good idea, and then, been done.
Yeah.
And it's been done well. I can't prove it.
You can get right down the track to the house.
I also thought about having a nice thin flat screen TV,
Mm.
and then that.
Can't you buy
a few
those
years
already?
later.
Yeah.
Huh?
That would be nice.
The Webb family. I'm an in-law, so I'm
Are you a Holt?
I'm a Holt.
Are you
yes.
the one that's on television?
I am the one. That's
Oh, glad though. So happy to meet
I'm
you.
a Derbyshire as well.
You getting us on video?
Hello, hello, hello.
Nice to meet you.
Are you
I'm
another
Kuen.
Webb?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Stephen.
Nice to see you again. Yeah. Yes. I will
Hello.
hello.
You know that now, but
Nice to see you again. I won't remember anybody's names.
This is Kuen, Tim's wife.
Right. Hello, Kuen.
Say again.
Photographer. Yes, I'm this is hard.
Right, yeah, good, thanks, good.
Do you remember that?
I remember that. How,
See
how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. How
So-
are you?
Yes, yes.
Tom,
We've had a. I
So
wasn't
Tom,
going to be able
this
to
is
come,
last
but
grandson.
two people were ill,
Last
and
grandson.
Oh,
somebody was
Right.
already off,
Yeah.
so we'd had amendments for that, and then
that's
somebody
nice.
else turned in, and they were terribly
We didn't,
infected.
you didn't do this on
Well, 'cause
purpose.
Tim's,
No, I
Tim's
was
Frank's
infected and decided it.
grandson.
Oh.
So we've got to try and
Frank,
pick up
yes.
on
Frankie went to Colombo in
Yes.
Salon. This is Tom. And
Yes.
this is Tim's wife, Kuen.
one.
Nice to
Hello.
meet you, Tom.
And standing in the background is Oliver, Tom and Eileen's son, Oliver.
Oh.
Hi Tim,
Next to
how are you?
Glad to
Nice
meet you, Oliver.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Hello
Kuen.
again, Oliver. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you
Okay,
again.
yeah.
Tom, hello again.
Hi, Juan, how are you?
Kuen.
Good,
Hi.
thank you.
Nice to see you.
Remember Pat
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Hi.
We're old enough.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Pat, how are you? Nice to see you.
and Stephen is our host tonight. He's doing no
No pressure.
I haven't done anything tonight, I did it all yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So it might have gone off by now.
All these paintings, I would like to have these explained.
This is my father,
Oh,
same generation as you. This was taken about probably 1950 or 60.
now was he Uncle Frank's son?
That's right.
He was Uncle Frank's,
Frank's son, Tim.
And I see.
Tim, yes, just. So Frank Perry's in Colombo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, one of my friends visiting Sri Lanka, is it now? It's, you know, Marlena and Dixon.
Yeah.
They tried to find his grave. I can't think they did actually, but I think your mother actually.
I'm sure
I
Auntie
visited.
Edith found
Yes, I
when
think
she was there on the way
Tom's
to
mother.
Japan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a very nice place.
Pour some drinks. Would you
Oh,
like,
of course I remember
some
Basil.
wine,
Yes,
beer, or-
yes.
I'll just have
It's
a.
a lovely
What lovely
picture, isn't it?
pictures, that
brilliant.
was.
It's a lovely
Who painted? Who
Joyce.
painted?
Joyce.
Yeah, from driving
Joyce.
sorry,
Did she? I had no
No,
idea she was
my mum
so.
had that.
Well, she was in the archives for a long
Flower
time.
thing.
She was in the
Double.
college,
College.
was she? Yes. See, I know. It's dreadful, isn't it? And has she done any of these others?
There's another beautiful one, and
And I'll show you.
Oh, she
Let me drag that for a mile.
that's one of hers.
Yes.
Really? Lucky
Let
man.
me show you. Oh, very.
How did you manage to wangle that one?
Come and look at
I don't know.
Joyce did that painting
Oh, really?
of Uncle Bert, who's my
Right.
dad's cousin. And that painting.
Took a while to keep that thing running.
Yeah.
Didn't have hydraulic brakes, it had mechanical brakes.
Yeah.
All these rods running underneath and.
Right.
You won't remember that.
Blish,
Yeah.
Yes.
Gabe,
Oh, it's a nice little house, isn't it? A little
went to
Yeah. It's a
America.
shame it's going, but
Had a great
Yeah. So how long has it been on the market?
sort of thing.
quite a long, 3
Fantastic.
weeks.
Oh, right,
4
okay.
weeks.
Art.
And anybody around?
I
Yeah, it's
remember.
sold.
Oh,
Yes, I
sold.
know, I know. I'm
David Hockney.
You know, subject
David
to
Yeah.
I
survey.
Oh, I love his work. I mean,
Yeah,
his latest
that's quick work.
that he's done
Yeah.
recently.
The last
I
one
love
that
his
I went to
latest.
see.
Such a nice house, I'm not
Trees.
surprised really.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you like art?
Brilliant.
Do you like art?
No, we don't know how to.
No, no.
So you saw the Craigslist
The
out?
other thing
Yes,
is
almost
the,
just after about a week it had been on the market.
Oh dear, what was the
Quite a
one
few
for
people
the
came,
Orson
lots were
Welles?
very enthusiastic.
Who's buying it?
Citizen Kane.
Yes.
A couple of
I
girls who
can't
live in
think
the
of
town, in the
name.
village. Tim's, hang on, Tim's father, because he was born in Stockport in 1912. Tim, who's on the mantelpiece.
Yes.
He was born in 1912 because his Frank, who was in Colombo in Ceylon,
Yes.
his wife came back to have Tim.
Oh, I see.
Right.
So she had their daughter, who was Dorothy or Donna, she was called in our family.
Yes.
She was born first in 1909, and then
She in Colombo or back?
in Colombo. She was
Yes.
born in Colombo. Then Mum came here to have Tim, and then I think they were in America when Frank died. Frank died in
Yeah.
1926.
Well, that Tom was born in 1924,
Mm.
so but he may not have. Perhaps may not have met Uncle Frank if
Well,
he'd
he
been
never
out
came,
in.
no, he never
he'd
came
been
back.
out in- no.
He was back in Stockport in 1918
Yes.
because they did a big world trip and ended up in Stockport and stayed for a
Right.
short while. And then he went back to Colombo because he had more work.
Yeah.
What did he do in Colombo?
He was a kind of merchant. I think he was selling space on ships, like you'd buy a big
Oh, okay.
space in a cargo ship and then divvy it out to people, so that
Right.
it was like a
Okay.
sort of entrepreneurial kind of thing.
Mm.
But my grandfather, Bert, he wrote the family history, which is this great watch. There's plenty of it, and it's all there to wade through. And he wrote this in the 50s, but it's so I've been sort of
So is it
Adding to
known
it.
what Uncle Frank died from?
cancer of the stomach.
And was it? And how old was he?
46. 3 Waterloo Road.
Pardon?
It's number 3 Waterloo Road.
That'll be it on the corner,
Yeah.
I think.
That's right,
Mm.
near Hillgate. Well, that's now it. Later on, it became a studios, a recording studios, and it's got a big. It's called Strawberry Studios now, and there's a plaque.
Yes.
But actually, yes, you're quite right that he was there first,
Yes, yes.
and that's where they made. Oh, thank you. That's where they made a great deal of money in that building. This is Frank.
About where the huge Tesco is on.
Not the-
Portwood roundabout.
Not, oh, I think I know that one.
And
Yeah.
if you go out from that roundabout, you can either go the way that goes sort of on the A6 towards Buxton,
Yeah.
or the other way that goes up through Marple Romilly's way.
Yeah.
It's about probably quarter of a mile, maybe.
What, so
half a
Hazel
mile.
Grove sort of?
No, not that
No.
far. Not
Right.
that far.
So if you come, sorry, because my knowledge of Stockport is not as good as yours. So if you're coming out past the grammar school, is it near the
No.
No.
It's further down into
Yeah.
Stockport.
Yeah.
further down into Stockport? Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Handy if you had a map.
So if you're coming in on the A6, you're coming on the A6 and the grammar school's on your left.
Yep.
Keep on going, and then
if you literally go down to the very bottom of Stockport,
yeah,
it takes a big dip into
yeah,
it
and then start going up the other side towards Heaton Chapel.
Yeah, when you're at the bottom of that dip,
Yeah.
sort of about half a mile east from there.
What? Right off to the right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you basically go over the motorway about that
Yeah.
point, over the M60.
Yeah,
If you went sort of quarter of a mile, half mile east on the M60 there,
Right.
you
Yeah.
come to the big port.
Yes, I know the
Huge
one you mean.
roundabout.
So, Oliver, you were in Mill Valley last summer,
I was. Yeah.
and you didn't know that you had a relative that lived in Mill Valley. That's too bad.
No, I didn't.
That's what it's
They
saying.
live in
Yeah.
Mill
That's
Valley.
what it's saying.
They have the
Very nice
family
little town.
with them.
There's quite a lot of Google employees, and I got the impression that live there.
And he's of the same generation, too.
Mm.
And he's Dorothy's son.
No, Thompson.
No, not you, but
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah, Dorothy's
right,
son.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be sure and let him know.
Yeah, it's a pretty town actually.
Yeah, it is.
Peggy is from New Hampshire. She's American, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, absolutely.
So we've been to New Hampshire to see the family once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We spent quite a few weeks there each summer, usually. Not this
Yes.
year, but we have done in the past.
So what were you doing in California this time?
We were just on
year?
holiday, actually.
Just on a holiday, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had 4 or 5 days in LA and then drove up the coast and had a few days in San Francisco.
Did you enjoy San Francisco?
Yeah, very much. Very much, although I guess not untypically, it coincided with the weather was, it's like got that microclimate, hasn't it, I suppose, so it was quite misty and foggy. Been very warm in Los Angeles and then it was quite cold in San Francisco.
Well, on the hot days there, we have a pretty good natural air conditioner.
Yeah.
The fog comes rolling in the
Yeah.
evening and it just kind of cools everything
Yeah.
down.
That's
It's nice. It's really nice. Winchester Mystery House?
No, we didn't
No.
actually.
Oh.
We didn't. We mainly just sort of drove. We only stopped. We stopped one night between the two, so we were driving quite a lot. We stopped in Carmel a little bit, but mainly we were just looking at the scenery. Some beautiful scenery there. Quite a wild kind of coast, actually, isn't it?
Mm. You can always see why Hollywood was so successful. I mean, there's every possible sort of scenery, isn't there, in a way? There's
Yeah.
sort of almost desert, and there's, they could make every type of film there.
Yeah.
Really, it was wonderful.
It was much wilder than I thought it was going
Yes,
to be.
because apparently it's about the Warsaw Uprising.
Right.
Have you read any of it?
I have actually, yeah.
It's a novel, but presumably
yeah.
with a historical background.
Yeah.
How would you describe it? I mean, romantic or?
It's a kind of historical novel, I guess, yeah. He's done a lot of research. I mean, I've got
I'm sure she must have done.
He's got a very good imagination.
Oh, well, yes.
But we haven't, it's been, actually, what I quite envied her in a way, because she's got to the point where she's got actually really knowledgeable about Polish history. You know, like she's kind of read round it. And we went out to Krakow just for an excuse to go for a weekend, really. But, it's a fascinating, it's terrible history, really,
Yeah.
Poland's history.
Yeah, I went to Krakow.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, many years ago. I went with Scouts.
Nice place.
Yeah.
Nice city.
Yeah. It's just
The Polish
Mysteries,
uprising, now what's that to do with the Jewish?
To do with the well, they've been no, it was mainly that was more to do just with the Nazi invasion, but that was when the Warsaw Uprising was when the Russians were camped on the other side of the Vistula, I think it was, and they gave the Poles the impression that they would come and help them. But then the Poles sort of had their rising and the Russians just waited while the Nazis slaughtered them basically, and then they came in. So that's the thing with the bus journey for Joe to get to his school, so but nice and central, walkable for Sarah and I to get to shops and cinema and
Is that into the centre of Oxford or?
it's near the centre of Oxford. It's kind of a place between, it's sort of near to a little area called Jericho, which is quite a nice area where there's a nice art house cinema and cafes and things. Yeah, there's some decent shops. But yeah, it's nice. There's a park down the bottom of the road, a sort of kind of park down the bottom of the road, and a pub on the corner. So we're pleased, I think. So it's been taken long enough to find it. So.
When you say semi-detached, you're speaking of the garage? Detached from the house? Or-
No, I don't know what you call it in the States. It means what means a big house but split in two, effectively. So it is sort of
They're linked together.
the two houses.
A big house?
One single
Are
building.
you living in half of it or something? Or
That's
what?
it.
Effectively, yeah.
It is
Yeah.
your house, though. It is
But it's
it is your house.
like a condo.
And built as two houses.
Yes, it's built.
It's like,
Built as, yeah.
Two houses with an
It's
adjoining
like a
wall.
mirror image.
yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're like a mirror image of each other. So that was a very common thing to build. For what reason I'm not
Well, we have a little sticker we put on our license plate.
Yes,
It
that's right.
has the year in it.
License number, and see if you paid up. And in fact, they have automatic.
A lot of people down there, a lot of picnic tables and stuff.
Yeah. Look, we are there, and that's where we're aiming. So I turned off too soon.
We're a quarter away. Would his picture be in here?
No, I don't think they go back that far.
Really?
I just wonder if any of the regalia is here. This is the chain of office. This is the badge he wore. Can you see that one there? Yeah. Because that was the original badge, the Office of the Mayoral Chain, 1872 to 1932, so he would have worn that.
What did I miss?
Just looking at, you know, the chain of office, we've seen a photograph of great grandfather wearing this chain of office, kind of central down in. That's the one that was he wore. Quite a different one now.
1872 to 1932. What is these? Mayors. Is this 1889, 1890? There you go. T. Webb. T. Webb. Back up and get. It says mayors of Stockport. Pardon?
I'm going to use this crown evidence. It's designed to be nice.
What did you say this is for?
No. I mean, they pull on certain ceremonial occasions. They have to go and keep security, so. He was the mayor last year who came and unveiled a new plaque for Thomas Webb. These are all the councillors. Which would have
The same thing as a mayor or council? This is just
This is
councilman?
the local councillors, and
Oh.
this fellow is the current mayor. I think he probably will have just changed because they change around in May.
Oh.
And that was him. And he and his wife came to the unveiling of that plaque in the cemetery that we're going to see shortly.
Yeah. You know, when I worked at the college, I used to attend to the football field's PA system. And you sit there on that microphone and you try to count. You say 1, 2, 3, and by the time you get to 3, the 1 is coming out, and and you go 1, 2, 3, and you just can't do it. You just can't count. You need earplugs.
Under the floor, you can see there's a section of floor over there, like a trap door. See down here?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
And that's the organ that's inside. So that picture's taken from there, looking across towards the window.
You said the trap door?
That's the trap door. It's American. The organ was the only one of its type to leave the United States. It was originally installed in the Paramount Theatre in Manchester in 1930. So it doesn't say where it came from in the States.
No, Tom. He's my great-grandfather, right?
Yours and mine.
Great. Yes, and my son, Joy's great-great-grandfather. Therefore, they're
Joyce, sorry.
great-great-great.
That's right. Section, our man. We're down here now. So that's where we're going. Great.
So that was the one that he was a magistrate?
He was a magistrate in his later years. So he was mayor in this monument.
So now we'll go in there.
Great, isn't it? And Tim's grandfather is Thomas Frank. But that was all below ground because the council had dropped them all down. Did it? Was that
Yeah,
right?
this is how.
Yes, do it.
So, this is one of the most impressive monuments of any cemeteries in Stockport. Yeah, well, I gotta say it's pretty fancy.
Heighton was busy. He had 8 horse and carriages delivering leathers all over the
Lettuce?
hat leathers.
Oh, hat leathers.
That's the big head stitched. Yeah, they had quite a business going on. So he took this in about 1881, 82. He had this house. And then in 1903, he got into financial difficulties because a big business deal went wrong. So they had to sell it and downsize them. They seem to, yes, they've renamed it. I'll show you a picture. Thomas Webb sold the house in 1903, and this was a picture taken at that time. That was from the auctioneer's documents. See that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I should take a picture of you two with that.
Five mailboxes.
Yeah.
Get into.
Well, again, it's it's actually 3 houses in one block.
Oh, okay.
So that big trip, Hong Kong, Japan, eventually America, and here. They did a sort of world tour practically, just at the end of the First War. They ended up here, staying here for a bit with the family. And then Frank went back to London. Oh yeah. The house. So it was called Rosny.
Thomas Webb's.
Thomas Webb bought this house after they sold the very big one in 1903, when their finances went a bit pear-shaped. And so they moved from the big house in here, and they lived here from 1903 to 1913, and then they moved to that little one we've just seen.
All those three generations living in that house for a while.
Oh.
Oh, the camera's out again.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, yeah. I remember. So what do you do here? Work on the engines?
Yeah, in fact, there's just showing this here. I was going to show you on his boat. I rebuilt an engine about 2 months ago. Little book engine, and Nick went and fitted it. Northampton, but the chap's come back up on the boat, all the way back up there with the book engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's good. That's right, yeah. Yeah, this is sort of what we specialise in a way. This is a flexible drive system for connecting the engine to a propeller shaft.
Oh, okay.
But these vary in sizes. I mean, they start at sort of this size, tiny little things for sort of 20 horsepower engines, but that's probably off a 400 horsepower engine in a big yacht somewhere. And they go even bigger than that.
Do they wear out?
They do eventually, yeah. But I mean, they're really good quality versions.
So you don't use universal joints?
Not really, no. The problem with universal joints in seagoing applications or boats is the fact that there's very little inertia actually at the back end of the propeller just spinning around in water. On a lorry, for example, where there's a universal shaft, or a train, you've got a huge inertia of the weight of the vehicle being on the wheels on the road. So that and one of the negative effects of a universal joint is they actually speed up and slow down as they rotate, as the hooks go over the centre. Which is why these have been given the name constant velocity shafts, because that's what CV shaft means. It's constant velocity.
Well, I mean, a universal joint, it's like that, right?
That's right, yeah.
But they're the same speed. I mean, I guess I don't follow what you're saying.
Okay. Basically, unless the angle of one of the joints, so if you imagine a flange with a shaft coming off, as long as that angle is exactly the same at the other end, you get sort of just the constant same output. But an engine moves around, and a lorry engine moves around, and suspension moves up and down. So as soon as those angles differ, even a tiny amount, you can get a torsional vibration, which is caused by the speeding up and slowing down. If you can never see it, but if you jack the lorry up off the ground and had it just driving in gear, the wheel, see the wheel going like that. You don't notice it when it's on the ground. All that torsional vibration is taken out by the damper and thrusting on gear on the wire. So that you completely get around that by having this constant velocity show.
Otherwise you have a lot of vibration on that motor.
That's right. Yeah. Some people do use, universal shafts, but they don't work as well. They do. They use them in front-wheel drive cars.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. There's some rear-wheel drive cars use similar types. It wants to just rotate, doesn't want to move around, and then a diesel engine that's shaking around.
Yeah.
So you've got to have a connection between them that allows that flexibility. It's called an aquadrive. This system.
So what are you rebuilding now?
I've got to rebuild that.
Oh, I see.
This one's not been rebuilt. This one's actually worn out.
Oh, I see a lot of slop in there.
Yeah.
Even if you put new ball bearings in, it probably still.
Yeah, it's not the bearings that actually wear. It's those tracks that actually get worn out. Yeah, and the surfaces inside the tracks are hardened.
How are they lubricated? Are they lubricated?
Grease.
Permanently? They're
Yeah.
just sealed in grease.
Sealed grease.